Niccolo Machiavelli was a Florentine diplomat, author, philosopher, and historian who lived during the Italian Renaissance. He has often been called the father of modern political philosophy and political science. The Machiavelli were a venerable old Florentine family, whose members had held high offices in the city government, but Niccolo's father, Bernardo Machiavelli, belonged to an impoverished and humble branch of the family. With the meager revenues of his land holdings, he could barely eke out a living for his wife, his daughters, and his two sons. Bernardo held a law degree but, unlike most of the lawyers and notaries in Florence, earned very little from his profession. Yet he must have been respected for his intelligence, for Bartolomeo Scala, a secretary of the Republic, and a great humanist, included him among the participants in a dialogue on justice and the law that he wrote in 1483. Bernardo genuinely loved books at considerable sacrifice. He assembled a small personal library that included books by Greek and Roman philosophers, especially Aristotle and Cicero, works of the great masters of rhetoric, and volumes of Italian history. Sometimes he could only borrow them, or rent them for barter, paying with produce from his lands. On one occasion, in order to obtain a copy of an upcoming edition of Livy's History of Rome, an important, but expensive book, Bernardo agreed to compile an index of place names in it for the Florentine publisher Niccolo della Magna. The task was exacting and dull and took 9 months, but in exchange he was allowed to keep the book. Thanks to his father's patient labor, the young Niccolo was able to read and reread at his leisure the Roman historian's account of the political and military achievements that transformed a small city into a free, powerful republic. As a grown man, Niccolo used Livy's book as the basis for discourses on Livy, his most important work, which contains the whole of his political thought and, in particular, his ideas about how a great and free republic is built. This book has been said to have paved the way for modern republicanism. This story tells us that behind Niccolo Machiavelli being called the father of modern political philosophy and political science was the dedicated efforts of his father, who loved reading. That's right. The importance of reading is the same in the past and now.